Hello, platypuses. So this afternoon you are going to do a history lesson and you are going to learn about the events of the Great Fire. So you've been learning all about the Great Fire of London this week, and today we're going to learn a bit more. So the learning question is, can I find out about how the Great Fire started and spread across London? And the success criteria, so what I want you to be able to do by the end of the lesson is say how and where the fire started, say why it might have spread, and be able to put the events of the Great Fire in London. So how did the Great Fire of London start? The Great Fire of London began in the early hours of Sunday the 2nd of September 1666. It began on Pudding Lane at a baker shop belonging to a baker called Thomas Fariner. And this is a picture of what Pudding Lane looks like today in London. It looks very different to what it used to do in the past. This is also a present day map of Pudding Lane. So you can see that the Monument Tube here is by Pudding Lane. Here, Pudding Lane, this is where Pudding Lane is. And then you've got the River Thames. And then the Tower of London is over here, which is not very far away. So early Sunday morning. The famous Great Fire of London started on Sunday the 2nd of September 1666 in a baker shop on Pudding Lane. The baker was called Thomas Fariner. Thomas had forgotten to put out a fire he made to bake some bread. The fire soon began to spread throughout London. The Great Fire had begun. Sunday morning. Now, I'm not sure if you know about this person yet, but his name was Samuel Pepys, and we will learn a bit more about him. But Samuel Pepys started to record the unfolding events in his diary. That means he started writing about the events of the fight in a diary. Sunday evening. Fire services never used to exist, so everyone had to use buckets of water to try and put the fire out. Do you know where they used to get the water from? I think you might have learnt about this already. They used to go to the River Thames and fill up their buckets. It destroyed many buildings which were later rebuilt from brick instead of wood. Buildings were very close together, so the fire spread very quickly, especially with the added help of the wind. People had to carry their belongings to safety using boats on the River Thames. So this was early on Monday morning, and you can see how quickly the fire was spreading. So late Monday morning, carts were banned from going near the fire. Do you know why the carts were banned? What material are the carts made out of? Can you see? They were made out of wood, and we know that wood burns easily, so actually that's why they were banned from going near the fire. Monday evening, the fire spread very close to the Tower of London. Tuesday, St Paul's Cathedral was destroyed in the fire. St Paul's Cathedral is still in London today, but it had to be rebuilt after the fire, so it's the new St Paul's Cathedral. Wednesday, the fire started to burn more slowly as the wind died down. Thursday, because the wind had died down and many buildings were pulled down to stop the fire spreading, the fire stopped. Now, they used to use things called fire hooks, and they used to pull the buildings down. You might have learnt about this already. And also, they used to use gunpowder to blow up the houses to make fire breaks. Luckily, only 6 people died, but thousands of people were left homeless, lost their businesses, or lost many of their possessions. Now, it was a very huge fire, and it was amazing that only 6 people died. Now, at this point, there is a video for you to watch, and I've put the link, I've saved the link for you so you can stop the video and have a look. And then once you've watched the video, I want you to answer this question. So why did the fire spread so quickly? And you can choose the reasons why the fire spread so quickly from these below. So watch the video and then have a look, go back to these questions and see whether you can answer them. Okay, I'm sure you know the answers to most of them. Right, so hopefully you've learned some new facts. You've now watched the video and you know the events and the order that they happened. Now, what I'd like you to do today is I want you to create a timeline of the Great Fire of London. Now, I've saved a timeline and I've saved some pictures, okay? And this will help you when you're doing your timeline. Now, you can draw or write the events in order on your timeline. It is totally up to you. I'm going to show you an example of what I mean on the next slide. So here you can see we've got a line here and you're going to put the days on there. We know the fire started on Sunday morning and we know that it ended on Thursday afternoon, but you need to put the days in between. You might like to use either a big piece of paper or you might like to use 2 pages in your book to do this. Now, these pictures, like I said, are saved and they can help you with putting the events in order. Now, it doesn't matter if you can't cut them out, that's fine because you can just draw your own pictures. I know how much you all like drawing. So what you would do is you can see that this would be at the beginning of the timeline. So you would put your pictures, so you might just have a picture of the bakery, you might have a picture of Thomas Fariner, but you would have it when the fire was started because this is the first thing that happened. This is the first event that happened. So you would put your picture at the beginning because this is when the fire started. Okay, and then you would continue and you would put all the other events and they would go along the timeline till the end, finally, when the fire was put out because the wind died down. Okay, well, good luck with your timeline. Don't forget, you can draw pictures, you can do a sentence to go with it, but just make sure that you get them in the right order and use the pictures to help you.